Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the camera gear and the audio equipment that I use to film my episodes. Let's get into it. So starting off first with cameras, there's four main cameras that I use to film the episodes. The first of which, on the main camera, is going to be an iPhone 13 Pro. So that's what you're watching this video on right here. I'll flip to some footage, hopefully just showing you what it looks like on the tripod and sort of how I set that up. So next up, we're going to talk about GoPros. So there's two main GoPros that I use. We've got the GoPro Hero 10 Black and we've got the Hero 9 Black. These come with a bunch of sort of interchangeable accessories and mounts that we'll go through individually one by one in a second. But before we do, the Hero 10 is kind of my go-to primary action camera. So if we're out on the boat or out on the paddle ski or sort of route running and gunning, the 10 will be the main one that I use. That will be sitting in the GoPro Media Mod attachment, which is this little guy, and sort of clips in here. What this lets you do is it gives you an extra couple of cold shoe mounts, so you can put things like external microphones like this Rode Video Mic Go, and it also allows you to connect this to an external power bank like the Anchor over here, so you can run this for sort of multiple hours at a time without having to keep taking this out of the media mod and changing the batteries every hour or so, which is definitely a pain. I don't tend to change the Hero 10 in and out of mounts very often. This is pretty much my primary camera outside of the iPhone, so that stays in the mount on the boat all day in the same position until we get to camp, and then I take it off and put it on a different tripod. Moving on to the Hero 9, this is the GoPro that I use to sort of change in between different mounts a lot, and it gets moved around during the day a fair bit. The two main mounts that it lives on are either the GoPro official chest mount. So if we're doing kind of kayaking or fishing or anything else where you want to get that point of view or that perspective that isn't directly from your head, I find this is really great. The other mount that it potentially will be on is the official GoPro head mount. I don't use this one all that often just because I find that it can be a little bit jittery and gives a little bit of some motion sickness to some people. So I use this very selectively on what shots that I end up putting in the video. But it definitely can be useful for some things where you want your hands free and you still want to capture what's going on. So next up is going to be this little clip. This is made by GoPro as well. This came as part of a bundle when I bought the Hero 10 last year. I'll be honest, I don't use this a ton, but there are very specific use cases because of the magnet on the back. So if you're driving quite slowly and you want to clip this to different parts of the car or truck or a different vehicle to get some unique perspective shots, this can be an easy way to do that without permanent fixed mounts, basically. After that's going to be this little vice clip, which is made by a company called SameTop. So if you click the back of it here, this extendable arm does detach. So you can use this with any other sort of GoPro compatible accessories, which will just give you a couple of inches of extra height if you want to get a specific shot. To be honest, most of the time I use this though, it is clipped into the little clip here. And then I use this to clip to poles or to sort of the sides of walls or railings. We've then got this extendable tripod mount as well for the GoPro. So I mainly use this in winter when I'm winter camping just because it allows me to get into tight spaces and still have a really clear still shot. I can't do that with the tripod that I'm filming on right now just because it's a little bit bigger and it's a little bit more cumbersome. So this one comes in handy. I don't always carry it, but it is useful to have for certain situations. And then last but not least, we've got the two waterproof mounts for the GoPro. So this one here is a handle. Again, these are all using the universal mounting system from GoPro, so everything just clicks in and out and interchanges quickly and easily. This one specifically is a waterproof handle and it floats. So if you're just running and gunning, you dive in, you swim in, kayaking, you want to put the camera under the water to capture something or to capture some detail or landing a fish or whatever you might be doing, this is always my go-to. It's just good peace of mind that you know if you drop it, it's going to float and your GoPro's not done for. There's not a lot of difference between these two. I end up using this one far more than this one just because it's easier to sort of clip it in. I don't have to detach the GoPros from the media mods or detach all the microphones and stuff. It's just plug and play with this one and everything can stay attached. So I touched on the Rode microphone a little bit earlier. This is my primary microphone, which stays attached to the media mod on top of the GoPro pretty much all the time for the Hero 10. It gives really great audio. It's quite compact. You can slide it back and forwards. It doesn't require an external power source, so it pulls directly from the GoPro, which can be a positive or a negative, whichever way you're looking at that. If you're looking to prolong the battery life, then it's not great, but if you're looking for sort of ease of use and without having to keep changing things out, then that's the way to go. And as I said, with the GoPro, you can attach the media mod through one of these ports on the side here. I believe it's the second one. Yeah, you can attach this via USB-C straight to the external power bank, which will keep this thing going for 3-4 hours before it overheats. So moving over to the right hand side of the table here, we've got the DJI Osmo Mobile 6, I believe this is called. So this is a handheld smartphone gimbal. So what this does is you take this little clip here, you put it around the outside of your phone, and then it just magnetically attaches to the top there, which keeps the phone securely in place. It does come with this little tripod, which is great to sort of keep it off the ground, but you can take this off if you don't want it. The main reason I used this is just to help smooth out some of my shots and to get some better panning shots and some movement. So if you're doing all of that by hand and you're trying to sort of pan out, you're trying to move left and right with the phone, unless you're really good at it or unless you're sort of being very careful with your footwork, sometimes it can come off as rushed or a little bit jittery. This solves that problem, and yeah, it just gives me a lot more flexibility in the shots that I can capture, and I can use the controls here rather than having to move the phone by hand manually. So next up is going to be one of my all-time favorite pieces of kit. So this is the DJI Mini 3 Pro drone. This thing's an absolute beast. It records in 4K quality, travels super fast, it's really lightweight, records directly to an SD or a micro SD memory card in the back of this, and then you can download the footage straight to sort of Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, whatever you're using. You can do that through the app, or you can pull it straight from the SD card with a little attachment, basically. So I find that really great. This covers all the needs that I've got. I don't need anything bigger than this or anything more sophisticated than this. And the other great thing about this is it falls under the 250 gram weight category, which means that you don't need advanced drone licenses to fly this, and it's a lot more user friendly. So the drone also comes with 2 extra pieces of gear. So this is the controller. I went with the RC controller when I bought this one. The other alternative is going to be one that's got a display built into this, whereas this one you have to pull out this top part, attach your iPhone, and then control it through the DJI Fly app. I've personally never had a problem doing that. I've always got a battery bank with me, so I try and keep my phone charged up as much as I can for both filming and for operating the drone. I think in future I might look to get one of the screens just because it sort of speeds up the process of getting this thing set up and in the air. There's less steps, and yeah, I'm always a fan of that. So the other piece of kit that comes with the drone is going to be the extended range batteries. So I specifically went for the extended range ones over the regular ones just because you get a little bit of extra flight time, but with the weight of the battery and the weight of the drone, it still comes in under that 250 grams, specifically 249. So you don't get afoul of any of the regulations, or you don't need any of those extra licenses, basically. I find that 3 batteries is enough for me. I generally throw the drone up sort of 3 times throughout most trips, and then I'll charge it again. The first one is kind of like as I get to somewhere to establish the location shots. We've then got another one for sort of specific shots throughout the day, if we're sort of spiraling around the bow or we're doing sort of boomerang shots or whatever it might be. And then finally, I like to keep one for golden hour or sunset or sunrise as well. I think between these 3 batteries, it gives me all the range that I need for now, so I won't be looking to upgrade to a new drone or to get any additional batteries. So I won't touch too heavily on the power bank because this one's quite self-explanatory. This is a 20,000 milliamp power bank by a company called Anker. They're really reasonably priced. They've got quick charge, USB-A, USB-C, and then they give you a little sort of readout on how much power is left on it as well. In conjunction with that, I carry this little organizer bag with all my cables in it. So that's kind of USB-C to USB-C, Lightning to USB-C for charging the iPhone, and then a couple of different ones for my VHF radio and sort of micro USB-C and whatever else we might need. Finally, last but not least, is my little red Moleskine notebook. So I started using this about 3 or 4 months ago just because I wanted somewhere where I could keep track of all my ideas for future videos or future shots or sort of things that came to me throughout the day. That previously I'd put in the notes app on my phone, but it just became a nightmare to manage everything and keep it in one place. So now this is my go-to if I've got any new ideas or sort of I want to refer to things that I've previously come up with. So that's pretty much it, guys. That covers off all the cameras, microphones, mounts, accessories. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of extra things that I've forgotten, so I'll link them down in the comments, or I'll add them to the description if I think of them. But in the meantime, if you've got any questions, that'd be great. Pop them down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. If you like this video, go check out our channel where we've got tons of episodes and playlists just like this. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified as soon as they release. Thanks for watching.